Hey everybody, my name is Ken, and today I want to talk about how poverty is a choice, just not the choice you're thinking it is. So let me give you a hypothetical example. We have a business owner. We'll call him Jeffalon Buffingates. And Jeffalon, try as he might, can only seem to generate $1,000 of profit in a week. Excuse me, for those of you who've been following, my vocal cord issues. So when my voice breaks, as if I'm going through puberty, I apologize. But anyway, back to Jeffy Jeff. Jeff, he can only produce $1,000 of profit a week because he can only sell a finite amount of widgets in a week by himself. So that's the maximum that Jeffalon can bring in profit every week is $1,000. So Jeffalon decides he would like to increase his profits and grow his company. So he hires 3 additional people and he teaches them a little bit about the widget that he developed and says, sell the widget. Those 3 people sell as many widgets as they can. And, not everyone is a born salesperson, so maybe their combined efforts only bring in another $1,000 a week between the 3 of them. So there's the $1,000 a week that Jeffalon is able to bring in, and then there's the $1,000 a week that those 3 additional people combined have brought in. Now, at this point, Jeffalon has a choice to make. He can maybe pay those 3 people the bare minimum for their efforts, otherwise known as the minimum wage, and then keep the larger percentage of new profit that has come in for himself. That's what a lot of business owners, that's what probably most business owners, let's be real, choose to do, because they've been taught, as we have all been taught since we were little bitty Jeffalons, that you are entitled to make more money than other people simply because you're more deserving of it, because you had an idea of how to produce a product or a service, and that because of that idea, everything that flows from that, the majority of any profits generated from that initial concept, should rightly belong to you as the original person who came up with that plan, that design, that widget, and then enacted it. The flaw with this is that without the direct efforts of those other 3 people that he hired to sell more widgets, there would not be an additional $1,000 of profit a week. It just wouldn't be there without them. Rightfully, the profits should go to all 4 of them equally. So when I say that you're right, poverty is a choice, it is. It's a choice of those who own businesses to not divide the profits equally. And for those of you who are now screaming at your phones saying, that's not right, that's not fair, why is it not fair? Who is it not fair to? You see, a lot of the reason I truly believe that CEOs who make 230 times what their lowest paid employee makes, the reason they feel entitled to do that is because we teach our children that that's okay. We teach people that individual exceptionalism is more valuable and more important than doing what's correct and what's beneficial for the entire community. We implant this notion in young people's minds that your worth as a person is entirely dependent on not only what you choose to do to make a living when you get older, but how much you earn as a result of that chosen career, which is complete bullshit. To disregard the potential and the value of any human being based on a number, on an economic distinction that is largely out of the control of everybody based on your race, what country you were born in, the political system under which you live. To make that arbitrary judgment is inhuman, in my estimation. And if you think to yourself, well, no company would ever be able to survive if they did that, what are you thinking? There's a young lady by the name of Madeline Pendleton, who has a company. She's a fashion designer. She has a company called Tunnel Vision. It's an LA-based company, and that's exactly what she does. She has like 10, I think, full-time workers. She splits all the profits generated in a year equally with all of her employees. They get full health care. It's all paid for. They get things like a gym membership just as a part of being an employee there. It's nothing they have to pay. It's not taken out of their paychecks as an additional thing. It's just what they get for working there. So she is the owner of the company, makes like 70 grand a year, and everybody else there that's a full-time employee is making 70 grand a year. And their goal is to reinvest all of the profit into each other and the company to keep it growing. And sure, Madeline could choose to pay her workers the bare minimum and keep the lion's share of the profit for herself, which I think she said would mean that she would get like 230 grand a year while everyone else was making minimum wage on her team. But she doesn't see people as tools to be used. She sees people as people. So again, poverty is a choice. It's the choice of those who run the businesses. Some of you will look at the video that I'm making right now and say, wait, you monetized it. How hypocritical of you for someone who doesn't like capitalism. Yeah, I don't like the system that I live under, but it feels fun to me, the idea that possibly I could make enough money in a capitalist society to help bring about the end of that capitalistic society. There's something kind of heartwarming about that. Humans are not resources. Humans are people with lives, with hopes and dreams. People who are deserving of life simply because they are alive and not for whatever their earning potential might be. Poverty is a choice, but it is not and never has been the choice of the impoverished.